Looking for some Mario Kart action in VR? Well, then Galaxy Kart is the latest attempt to capture that feeling. The title has just released on PSVR 2 for the price of $19.99, and I'm here to give you my overall impressions and thoughts after spending some time playing it. Up first, let's talk objective and gameplay. Overall, it's a pretty standard affair here. While there is a campaign mode, there doesn't seem to be any overall story tied to it. You begin with one track to race on, and in order to unlock more, you have to beat that track multiple times on higher difficulty settings up until hard mode. There are a total of 4 tracks to unlock, 9 characters as well, though you do start with a base of 3 on that front. Each character comes with their own unique skill to overtake opponents. For example, there's a hot dog man with ketchup that can slow down opponents by spraying it on the track, or Alex with a multi-shot gravity gun. I do enjoy the fact that each character comes along with their own unique cart and a very specifically designed cockpit that matches their overall theme. But I will admit, some of them feel more usable than others. Specifically, the pirate ship's wheel kind of gets in the way of your view while racing. Now as for the gameplay itself, truth be told, it's a bit of a learning curve. They give you 3 options on how to play with motion controls. One requires you to have your hand on the wheel at all times while holding L2 or R2 for gas, the other gives you a virtual joystick to control the cart, and lastly, there's one that lets you have a lever for gas that you can just set on full throttle all the time while you just worry about turning with your hands. I personally found the lever to be the best way to play, but even so, it took quite a few rounds to even get used to it. My biggest gripe has to come with the difficulty and balance of the game. The AI at times can be quite punishing out of the blue, or just ridiculously easy. I can tell you from personal experience that more than a few races were lost due to the AI somehow going at crazy breakneck speeds for no apparent reason. And what makes this worse is that the item pickups themselves, while fun to use, are focused on those around you. That's to say there are no blue shells or lightning strikes to help slow down whoever's in first. So once they've gained any sort of lead, it's pretty much impossible to catch back up, and this can apply to both you and the AI. All things considered, the gameplay is a fun experience, but it definitely feels like it's lacking polish here and there. Moving on to features and content, there's a campaign mode, a multiplayer mode, and as mentioned, 4 total tracks, 9 characters and carts, varying difficulties, and a challenge mode for each track. Said challenge mode is a bit of a special event. The first one's a one-on-one, the second one is a 1v6 against the same AI opponent, and when you do win against them, you unlock their character and cart. And really, that's about it. At $19.99, I can't help but feel it's a little bit lacking in the content department. I do appreciate the various control methods, but I gotta say it's kind of disappointing to play a card game without any sort of Grand Prix. That said, there are only 4 tracks, so maybe that's why. And honestly, that statement gets a little bit worse too. While there are definitely 4 tracks to unlock, I actually completed each track and difficulty up till track 3's hard mode. Not sure if it's working as intended or I'm missing something here, but despite clearing every other campaign option, including challenge races in first place, which is necessary to get the trophy for each difficulty, for whatever reason, track 3's hard and challenge mode remain locked, thus I can't actually access track 4 as of yet. According to the trophies, there's about 8.6% of people who have gotten the trophy for accessing track 4, so it does seem to be accessible to some degree, but as of yet, I can't find it. Part of me imagines that it may be a randomly selected track during multiplayer sessions, but I haven't actually been able to find any other players for online matches to see if that's true. If I end up finding a solution to this, or the developer posts an update about it, I'll be sure to leave it down in the pinned comment section below, but at the time of this recording, that's the current experience I've had. Lastly, we have visuals and immersion. This is honestly probably the game's strongest point. It's a joy to look at, the characters and carts are fun and silly designs. The weapons could use a slight more variety in designs, as some of them look a little too similar to just guns. Initially I took the nitrous for another gun as it kind of has that shape, but it does give you a nice speed boost. On the contrary though, I will say that each character's skills certainly shine in comparison and are very fitting to their overall theme. I will say the tracks also have great theming, though the overall layouts do feel a bit simple once you know the optimal path to take. Immersion-wise, my big issue that kept taking me out of the experience was actually due to the menu and how it controls. Far too often I found myself clicking on an option and it not being selected, while other times it felt flawless to navigate. It was frustrating to say the least, but during the actual races, for the most part, everything did feel fairly solid to use. The only standout is the pirate's hook that does seem to be a little bit crazy if using it at a distance, as it tends to shoot upward higher than you'd think rather than forward. Now, taking it all into account, should you pick up Galaxy Kart for your PlayStation VR 2? In my honest opinion, maybe hold off for a bit. I do think there's a good game underneath, a few patches. I'd love to see some additions such as tracks or weapon pickups that help with catching up to first place. It would do wonders for the game, but I will also say it is priced at $19.99, making it one of the cheapest PSVR 2 titles to hop into. And despite everything, I still managed to enjoy my time with the game. If you find yourself really wanting a kart racing experience like Mario Kart and are willing to look past hiccups, bugs, and even balancing issues, then go for it. But for the average player, I would honestly recommend waiting to see if the game gets patched or any additions get added. Hopefully they can address the issue with track 4 being locked away from the campaign mode real soon, and if they do, I'll be sure to pin it in the comment section below, so keep an eye out for that. Either way, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out, and if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. If you have any remaining questions, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll answer what I can. And as always, thank you for joining me on this virtual journey. I'll catch you in the next reality.